Hey, what's going on, Steve?
Hey, how's it going,
It's
man?
going good. Glad to see you. This is my project for school. Just want you to feel relaxed and you're in your home, away from home, away from home,
Right.
you know. And yeah, this is a great studio that I am just taking all in. And it's great to be here with you and just get to know you a little bit more and just how you came up into just having your own studio as a professional.
Mm.
And yeah, so this is my interview project for school. So yeah, let's get started.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Glad to have you here.
So, can you tell me a little bit more about yourself? I mean, I've known you for some years, and I haven't gotten to know you a little bit more because things are
Right.
happening and just things like that.
Just a guy from grew up in a small town in Florida, in Pensacola.
Okay.
Uh, Went into the military, retired military, did 20 years. I'm married. I have two kids. Um, just your average guy, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me more about your occupation.
Uh, I am a broadcast systems engineer.
Okay.
I maintain a facility. I work for a government contractor, and I maintain a government facility that does broadcast equipment that broadcasts out to the world.
That's nice. How did you get started in your career?
I have to say, in my grandfather's church, I grew up in my grandfather's church playing drums and always being around equipment. Working with my uncle who used to do front of house way back in the day
Nice.
when when I first got exposed to equipment. And I caught the bug just from going into a studio with my father. My father was a recording artist back in the day, gospel artist, and I had an opportunity to go in the studio with him. And just going in for the first time, it kind of bridged all those things together. Things that I was doing in church, and then going into that studio just took it over the top. So that's where I really got that first interest in wanting to be a recording engineer.
Oh, that's good. What made you want to get started in a career? I mean, you probably said that before, but just.
Wanting to do it, once you get that bug and you see some things, it's like, this is what I want to do. And I think a lot of people have those moments in life where they see either an actor, they see an athlete, they see someone that they you just know when you see it. This is something that I want to do.
So, Steve, what kind of training did you receive for your current job?
So the military was great at helping me achieve a lot of my training. Going into the broadcast systems field, we got taught everything from basic electronics to system design, to system integration, to antenna towers, to everything that's dealing with the armed forces and radio television network for the Army. So we have radio stations deployed throughout the world. So a lot of the training came through the military. Once I retired from the military, I followed up with wanting to do specific recording engineer training. So I actually went back to school and got a certification in recording engineer because I wanted to be versed in both what I knew and what I thought I knew. I wanted to solidify all that with some formal training.
All right, cool. Okay. What is one of the subjects you like about your job?
So we're talking about two different jobs. As a broadcast systems engineer, I love the troubleshooting. I love the equipment, and that kind of bridges together with the recording engineer side of it. Is that I love the music and I love the equipment and I love the troubleshooting because there's always ways trying to fix things in a mix or come up with solutions that may not have been done before.
Okay, that was the next question. What has been the most influential in your career and why?
So, if I think back and I look at who was the most influential for me, I have to start out with my father and my uncle. Those are the two that brought music into my life. My father as a musician, my uncle as an engineer, as a technical guy. I actually even still have some of his reel-to-reels, his 4-track recorders that he had, and he's from 1970s, which is pretty cool. So his influence and my father's influence, I think, gave me the drive to want to do what I'm doing. Along the way, it's just being wanting to be like some of your better engineers and wanting to, the people that you see on television, the guys that do it for the big people, So
it's all in the family.
Yeah, it's definitely all in the family. It's definitely all in the family.
So yeah, that goes into my next question. What contributions have you made in your career? Like, basically, how do you contribute to society as it relates to your job?
Ooh,
Because you probably worked with artists and producers and people who work in the same area as you.
So my the thing that I think about is doing it for the military, serving my country. Is I think the biggest contribution I could say. The men and women that serve the armed forces when we were overseas, the biggest thing that they wanted at Christmas time was to be able to have a little bit of home. And the career field that I had in the broadcast system side of the house was we brought just a small bit of home to deployed soldiers. They got to watch football games. They got to watch local news. They got to do those things. So to me, the contribution was being able to bring that to them, and that was exciting for me. As far as the contribution to the world, still been written. The story's still been written. So nothing that I have right now to mention that other than having the space available for that next great artist to come in and be, to be what he or she is going to be.
It's all a work in progress.
Still a work in progress, yeah. The story continues.
Okay. All right. That goes into my other question I was going to ask. What would you be doing if this wasn't your first choice as a profession?
I cannot imagine what I would be doing if this was done, because this is I don't have a plan B.
Okay.
So this is.
You're already well into it, so
Yeah,
I'm looking at all the equipment.
Yeah, I mean,
wow.
Again, it's still a long way to go. I think that but I don't know what I would be doing if I wasn't doing this, because this is something that I've wanted to do since I was in high school. So. Chasing it for many years, I couldn't see myself doing anything else.
Very cool. I love it. Okay. So yeah, I have a couple more questions. Do you enjoy your job?
Absolutely, I enjoy it. It's I always tell the story that I was in high school and someone said, find your whatever it is that you do for fun that you would do for free and make that your job. And this is something, truly that I would do for free. I enjoy it. It's my passion. So I absolutely enjoy it.
How long have you been in this career? You explained a lot.
It's over 30 years. I have over 30 years in the broadcast communications. When I came out of high school, I went to school for mass communications. I started working at a AM radio station as a disc jockey. And then I went in the military and I became a broadcast systems guy. So did 20 years in the military. I've been retired for the past 10 years. So I retired military, of course, 10 years ago. Almost 11 years ago. I take that back. It's been 11 years now. Oh, wow. So, over 30 years, and that's not even counting the things as a teenager where I worked at my father's music store. And did integrations for installing speakers and installing different things. So over 30 years, man, in the career field, doing something in the aspect of it.
Okay. Oh, 30 years. That's, I'm only 27. And it's like about 3-year difference. But yeah, that's good. Okay. Is your job fulfilling?
Absolutely fulfilling. It satisfies, it's challenging, it's rewarding, so it fulfills all those, it checks all those blocks, it has its ups and its downs, and it has a lot of potential. So it fulfills all those things that I think you would want when you consider something, fulfilling. And I think that's different for different people, but for me, I do believe that it's fulfilling.
So it's like your passion to, work with people who are in the same field as you, and
Absolutely, it's a great opportunity to work with different people who have the same level of passion that I have for what I do.
great. So what's up? Do you have a second career or hobby?
Second career hobby. I have this thing about detailing, so detailing cars. So I have, I do research on all the latest and greatest techniques for detailing cars, and that takes my mind away from everything else. It's just to get out and wash the car and shine it and buff it and get it and do the interiors with all the mixing crannies of the car. So.
Okay. So do you enjoy it in your full-time job?
Do I enjoy my full-time job?
Do you enjoy the hobby more than your full-time job?
Oh no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because that's work. This is fun.
So Steve, what kind of equipment do you have that would be useful for a concert?
Equipment that would be used for a concert. So in-house, of course, microphones, speakers, and depending on the size of the venue, really multi mixers, which is a 16 channel here that has to be here. So all of your backbone and anything that based on the size of the venue, I would have to go out and get to accommodate. But your basic gear, your microphone, cables, your mixers, some lighting, but depends on the venue.
Okay, so what you have here is this equipment, right?
So this is what we call an MPC sequencer, and what it allows you to do it's a combination drum machine sequencer where you can do multi-tracks and stack and loop it and extend it out to make a sequence. Sequence is just snippets of events going from one event to the other. So changing speeds and whatever.
This is really good.
Yeah, this is the MPC Renaissance. There's several different manufacturers that make similar equipment. Native Instruments that's made by Kai. But yeah, it's just a simple drum machine sequencer. And the turntable sitting there because you can use samples to also make those sequences. So sample in a sound and you chop it up and turn it into different patterns, different beats, and move forward with that.
Final question is, how much does the equipment cost? Like in a studio like this,
It's kind of hard to say, because I've been building for some years and adding. I can't even put a number on it. It's hard to put a number on it. I really need to try. I would say tens of thousands is just is an easy guess.
so like a ballpark
Yeah.
pitch.
I mean, in this profession, it's really not about the cost of the equipment because you can take very simple items and do a lot of things, the same things. There's different levels of the same equipment. I mean, there's this piece of equipment may cost one thing, but you can do the same thing with a cheaper piece of equipment. So it's not about how much money you spend on it to get the quality and to get the thing, to get the output that you're trying to achieve. It's really about the passion that you have for it and the effort. These are just tools. I've seen guys out on the street with buckets and things that they made at home and they create.
Yeah, I've seen that
They
too.
create music, so it's not necessarily about there's been great artists who have made records with one microphone and in their mom's basement and in their living rooms, and so it's not really about the money. It's about the passion and creativity.
Well, thank you, Steve. I really appreciate this time interviewing you.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. It's been my pleasure. Thank you for considering me for your interview and your project. Hopefully it works out for you. And I've said something that